We were talking a little bit about how you made it to age 95 in such good condition, and you were saying you thought maybe all that yard work and garden
It's
work.
all the gardening. Gardening's wonderful. I think you go out there and you feel at peace with everything, peace with God. He looks over you when things grow, I think, and it's a great life. I was invited to join it back in 1959 by Dorothy Whittemore. She was a very wonderful, gracious lady. I've enjoyed every year I've been in it. I've been kind of away from it now at home because I don't walk very well. I was the youngest one, and they were a large group of gracious ladies. They really were wonderful to me. They were very kind. They shared things with me too, plants, and it was very wonderful experience to belong. When I was a little older and I could go, I used to drive some of them to occasions.
And now you're kind of giving to the younger members in the same way that the older members gave to you when you were younger.
Yes, I love to meet the new girls and talk to them and hope that they will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it. Well, we had a large garden, and we planted a lot of vegetables, and we also loved flowers and planted bushes around the property. They grew fast, and we planted many more too. We planted squashes and pumpkins for the children in the neighborhood. The flowers, of course, I planted perennials in the garden. And of course, one thing about them is they come back, even when it's bitter cold. Much nicer to be on the high side of the hill because the water runs downhill instead of in my cellar.
I was brought up gardening because my father was an avid gardener, and then I married into this family, and my mother-in-law was a superb gardener, and she taught me. I was just a 21-year-old, and she taught me lots of things about gardening and propagation. I've always loved it. My husband loved to propagate and had a big light garden in our cellar. We moved from this to this house from a house that had all shade, so this was a new opening to learn how to garden in the sun. It's survival of the fittest in my gardens because of the salt air and the northeast winds. I think spring is probably my favorite with all the flowering trees and shrubs and the bulbs that come up. But I do love the spring, and I love planting the planters and things like that.